Hello, Happy New Year, everybody! Is getting back to art or getting better at art one of your hopes for 2022? If so, let's embark on a journey together this year. The sketches in this video is the first artwork I've ever done in a month, so it was really hard to start. But what's worse than that is actually it has been over a decade since I've drawn every single day. I haven't touched art ever since. And by I haven't touched art at all means that if you compare my drawing from 10 years ago to today, it looks pretty much the same. And that is sad because I haven't improved at all. So in this video, I'll be drawing some of my New Year resolutions while talking about how do we bring back that spark, that love for art in our lives. So before I talk about how, why do we even get back to art? One of my reasons is mental health. I remember back 10 years ago when I was still in college, every time that I came home, I would go straight in my room and start drawing. It washed everything away, all the problems that I have. My thought just focused on the art. Another thing that I was hoping the art would help is digital detox. I feel that these days I've been consuming way more than I create. So I just want to create maybe not even as much as I consume, but I want a portion of my time creating something rather than being 100% consuming either it's YouTube, Netflix, whatsoever. Another reason is I just basically love art. I have this kind of fear that's kind of nudging me. I actually am scared of dying and not getting better at art before I die. And I know that's kind of sound a little dramatic, but I do imagine on my deathbed I would regret not practicing art more and not creating, a piece that I'm proud of. So I want to improve before I die. Next reason is also kind of to the point that I just mentioned. I want to create some passion projects, some of the art collections, or maybe just some products, just to put something that I made out there in the world. Be it just coloring book, or maybe one day a deck of tarot cards. I want to leave some trace of myself in the world. And the last reason is side income. I've been so traditional, so risk averse my whole life. I go to school, graduate, work 9-to-5 job. I value stability. But it's the thing about being an artist, the entrepreneurial side of it, that I really want to learn and grow. So that's pretty much all the reasons that I want to get back to art. So how do we get back to art? The start is the hardest, honestly. Some of the things that worked for me, at least like in the past few months, is to create a routine, a system, or some kind of trigger for you to, start drawing every day. Either it's time blocking, maybe you could tell your family that from this hour to this hour of these days in a week, you would be in your studio. Or a trigger could mean maybe some different mood lighting, some sense of candle that would get you started. Another tip to get back to art is to clean your space. I just did it in my previous video and it's satisfying as hell. And now I feel even more inspired to do art because I have a clean space and I know where things are. And another thing that could help is to make yourself accountable. The way I make myself accountable is actually this YouTube, because YouTube kind of encourage consistency in a sense. I wanted to, have friends out there on YouTube that would make me feel that I should share my art more to them. And other kinds of accountability could be a vision board that I created in the Hobonichi setup video. So I put some beautiful artworks from other artists in there just to encourage myself that I want to get better. I want to be able to paint or draw like them. Another way that could help, and I know that some other people might disagree, is that I have separate sketchbooks for a junk sketchbook and a prettier sketchbook. I know it's kind of sound counterintuitive, like it's just a sketchbook, just dig in. But until I can cure my perfectionism, I'll just keep a junk sketchbook and a more refined sketchbook. Because in a junk sketchbook, then I would have no expectation for myself. I would explore, I would just dig in, I would make a mess in there, just like this sketchbook. I didn't plan anything, I just dig in with the blue pencil. The composition is a mess, and I hope it gets better over time, but I don't have any pressure of, trying to make a perfect art. And then when I have the high energy, when I'm in the flow, then I would go into my more refined sketchbook to create some artwork that I'm proud of. And still, the pretty sketchbook doesn't have to be like pretty in terms of, showing other people, but it just means that I would create the work that I would focus and put a lot of effort into and proud of in that sketchbook. Anyways, the next way to get back to art is to brainstorm some kind of art collections that you want to create. So, for example, art collections can just be something as simple as 12 zodiac signs or drawing from emojis, which is the prompt that has been going around for some time. And yeah, you can follow prompts from the internet, do some draw this in your style, do some fan art, anything that gets you started. So my manifestation for 2022 is that I want to learn new art skill, and I want to learn it the right way. I want to learn the fundamental of it. The way I practiced art before is just to wing it, and I draw from imagination a lot. And then no wonder why I feel stuck and I couldn't draw anything, because sometimes you're gonna use some reference to build your muscles in drawing. And I just want to learn more about how do I even practice art, because I have no clue about it. And again, this channel is just gonna be about my art journey, because I'm still learning. I have so much to learn. And same with the watercolor, I am embarrassed to tell you that until a month ago, I didn't know that watercolor artists, they mix their own colors a lot. I would buy 36 watercolor palettes, and I thought that I have 36 colors to work with. I know, it's super embarrassing. So I want to get better at color mixing, color theory. I'm just learning everything from the start. Another manifestation is that I want to have fun with art. I don't want to judge myself anymore. For example, this sketchbook, I started it again and tearing some of the front pages off because I hated my art. I don't want to do that anymore. And maybe towards the end of the year, I wouldn't have to separate my sketchbook into the junk sketchbook and pretty sketchbook anymore. I know a lot of people would be like, dude, you just draw anything in your sketchbook. I'll be loving my art more, be it the drawing that I did during the time I have an art block, or the drawing that I do when I have the full energy to do it. I just want to love them all equally. The last manifestation for 2022 is I want to finish a couple of sketchbooks. I want to have a bookshelf full of sketchbooks. And then that's a wrap for this video. Thank you so much if you're still listening until this time. And I wish everyone a great art journey, a great life in general. And please remember that it's okay to grow your art on your own pace, or it's okay not to like your art, or it's okay to not even have time to get back to art yet, because I didn't for a decade. Because sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes you have other priorities, your health, your family, your financial situation, your career, whatsoever. So it's okay not to start this year. There's so much more other aspects in your life. Your art alone definitely doesn't define who you are as a person. You're beautiful, you're a good sister, a good friend, a good daughter, a good woman, a good man. So please remember that you're loved, and I wish you a happy new year and a great 2022 ahead. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Until next time, bye bye.